Alo, 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 testing, testing. U Thanh đã có mic chưa ạ? Có mic của, we have one microphone for the questioner. You have one. That one over there. That's one over there. So you can share this one. Được cô dùng cái mic. Cứ cầm như này nói. Alo, alo, được. Dạ, kính thưa A Chan, kính thưa cô Sara, chú John và cùng thể đạo hữu ạ. Hôm nay con xin có một câu hỏi. Con đã được nghe phát đàm của A Chan rất nhiều và con cũng hiểu rằng là sự hiểu biết này xảy ra rất chậm, giống như là cầm cán dao hàng ngày mà không thấy được sự hao mòn. Vì lẽ đó mà con cũng rất chịu khó nghe. Xong con nghĩ rằng là mình nghe hiểu biết nó vào quá chậm và ra thì rất nhanh. Con liên tưởng đến ở trong kinh có 4 hạng người. Hạng người thứ nhất là nghe một câu đã hiểu. Hạng người thứ hai là nghe nhiều câu mới hiểu. Hai hạng người này chỉ có thời Đức Phật mới có nhiều. Hạng người thứ ba là nghe một câu không hiểu, và hạng người thứ tư nhiều câu cũng không hiểu. Con nghĩ ngay là mình có lẽ ở hạng người thứ tư. Vậy con kính thưa A Chan, cô Gia, chú John, các đạo hữu hãy cho con đi hiểu rõ hơn một lời khuyên để cho con lại tiếp tục trên con đường vun bồi sự hiểu biết ạ. Dạ xin hết. She said that we know that the Dhamma is very subtle and difficult. Alo? Hiện giờ đang bị rè đúng không ạ? They trying to fix the technical issue. Bây giờ mọi người đã nghe tốt hơn chưa ạ? Nhờ phiên dịch ở trên Zoom thử nói xem mọi người xem đã nghe tốt hơn chưa ạ? Nhưng cái đấy cần phải tắt loa đi. Thẩm nghiệm. Em phải tắt cái loa đó. Alo? Okay, so she said that she knows that the Dhamma is very deep and subtle, and she has been listening to the Dhamma for some time, and as Achan said many times, that the understanding is very slow, and it's just like taking the knife handle. So one doesn't see how much is worn out, but it's still happening. But for her, she feels like the remembering of the Dhamma is slower than the forgetting of the Dhamma. And she heard that there are 4 kinds of people. The first 2 kinds of people can get enlightened after hearing a short explanation, and another one after a long explanation. And she thinks that she must belong to the 4th one. I think that maybe she's just feeling that, her understanding is very, very slow, and how difficult is it to understand and remember the Dhamma. So please have some comments for her.
It's like that for all of us today. The understanding has to develop very slowly, and it doesn't matter at all. No need to think about how fast or how slow or when there will be more understanding. Otherwise, it's just more and more clinging to I and my weak, thinking about my weak understanding. So don't be concerned how slow it is. Just let it develop naturally and be happy and cheerful even when there's just a little. And of course, it's the same for everyone. There's forgetting all the time. That's why we need to hear the good reminders again and again and share the truth together and with our friends, so understanding can develop. So the less thinking about I and my weak understanding, the more helpful it is. Otherwise, it hinders thinking, oh, it's too slow, is this right? Should I do this? Should I do that? It all hinders from understanding developing. Even if it takes countless lifetimes, it doesn't matter at all. Just a little bit of understanding at a time so that it can accumulate. And when there's forgetting, there's forgetting. These are just different dharmas, all gone, of no consequence. So patience is very important. Kanti parami, there has to be a lot of patience developing together with understanding. So there's no minding what the reality is now, no minding how little understanding there is. Just let it work its way very naturally. And we appreciate that you'll come and listen each time and have confidence that it's the right way. This is most important, the confidence and the patience developing with understanding. Like you say, with the knife handle simile, one doesn't see when it's worn away so slowly, and it's the same with understanding, but no need to think about my weak understanding. And if there's comparing with others, what is the reality then? It's a kind of mana, so no use at all. A kind of conceit, no use at all. Just let the understanding work its way, and when there's forgetting, so what, never mind. That's how it has to be for everyone.
Just another aspect to consider is that we should not confuse the development of understanding with the ability to speak about what it is that is understood. So there can be understanding develop even though it may not be possible to have a conversation with someone else who is more articulate or knows more of the names of everything, because it's not necessary to know the names of everything in order for one to appreciate that what can be understood is what is appearing now. And if one gets that point, then it doesn't matter that it cannot be articulated, and one cannot discuss deeper aspects of the Dhamma, which in any case don't have any real relevance to the level of understanding at the present moment. For the most part, the things we are discussing here are things that are not apparent anyway. Yesterday we spent some time talking about the 3 kinds of manasikara, which is interesting for those who have an interest in knowing the finer points. But someone may not have that interest, but may still appreciate that seeing now is different from the visible object, is different from the thinking about what has been seen. And as long as that much is appreciated, then there's no need to feel that there should be the ability to discuss Dhamma at an intellectual level or theoretical in regard to the deeper aspects.
Listening now, see, carefully considering what is there. It's not known as it is at all. That's why what is the truth of each moment has to be learned, to understand that it is just a moment of what is there, arising by conditions, and then falls away. Begin to have confidence, little by little, about the truth, to follow what is heard, to understand better and better, clearer and clearer about it's true, nothing lasts at all. Even now, the moment of seeing is not the moment of hearing, but not enough understanding to be the moment of understanding just one reality at a time, because they appear together. That's why learn to understand about what has been heard, even yesterday, all gone. All Dhammas arose yesterday, finished, ended, at moment of what? See, no more yesterday, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, all gone. All was ended. At what moment? We talk about yesterday to understand what is there now today. That's why no more yesterday, after moment of no more experiencing through any doorway. Is that right? But life is not ended, because there are conditions for life to begin to be different from the moment of what were there yesterday. At moment of sleeping, see, the moment which is not seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. So learn about different realities. There must be moment, condition to arise. Nobody can make it arise at all. But karma, we used to understand karma, the deeds that has been done, wholesome moment or unwholesome moment, can condition its result beginning from the first moment in life. That's why we are different. Dogs and cats are different by the citta, the reality, which condition moment of birth, the first moment of this life. If it's not there, it's not birth. But even at that moment, not experiencing the object which you see and heard yet, but it's there, see. Can there be the understanding of the beginning of life? Without that which arises to experience the object, even the object at that moment does not show up at all. It does not appear as sound or anything, but it's there. No one can stop the nature of a reality which arises to experience the object, even at birth moment. Conditioned by a karma, there are many karmas, uncountable karmas, but only karma conditioned the first moment of life as its result of that particular karma to be human being or cat or dog or worm, all are different by different conditions. Karma, this moment, hearing the sound, the hearing, and the thinking about the meaning of that is karma, which will produce the result of it later, not at moment when it's there. The cause is there, and it conditions what in life. The first moment of birth is just the result of only one karma. See, is that right? Without that particular different kind of karma, there cannot be different kinds of birth. So to be born as this person or a beggar or whatever, a rich person, depending on the condition, the karma, which condition the moment of birth of that degree, what is there? So many realities as the hetu or the cause, but it depends on the life as a cat can the understanding that has been developed sometimes in the past, conditioned moment of understanding what is heard now. Impossible. That's why each life is limited by different karma. A bird, can it understand the sound? Does it hear? But no understanding the meaning of it at all, because what has been accumulated are not there in this life to condition the wise considering about what is heard to be known, to be understood. That's why no matter what is there in life, each moment is conditioned at birth. Is it enough for that karma to produce just one moment of birth? Not enough at all. It conditioned the next moment, when birth moment has fallen away, to be the same person, experience the same object, which is not known. At birth, the object is not known. And the next moment after birth, the same karma condition, the moment of what is there, arises to be that person on and on and on, to experience the result of karma, not just only karma which condition birth. Is that right? That's why even every human being was born by the citta, which is the result of wholesome deeds, but different moment of experience in life. Sometimes the moment of seeing unpleasant thing, and sometimes it's the moment of experience unpleasant thing. That's why there can be the other karma which can condition its result. That's why we learn to understand the moment of birth is the result. The moment which follows the birth is also the result, because one deed does not only one moment of result, but it depends on how long or how short that karma will experience the object which is not known, and the moment when the other karma or the same karma conditioned moment of seeing, who knows? This moment of seeing is the result, the same of the same karma which conditioned birth, or the other deeds which has been done. It's ready to condition the moment of seeing. Otherwise, the one who was born as a human being we experience only just pleasant object because it's the result of a wholesome karma. That's why condition for life to go on is the karma. That's why we learn to understand how karma works its way. It is not just born to be human being or whatever, but it's moment for karma to condition its result at moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. Who knows what will happen next? Because only karma, no one knows which karma condition this moment of seeing, or moment of hearing, or moment of smelling, moment of touching, no matter of what is there appearing as the reality, which is the self, arises to be the result of a karma at moment of experiencing what is there. And this is life on and on. That's why learn to understand a little more in order to have right understanding of the truth. What is there is just a moment, only in a moment and then gone. That's why understand what moment is there now as it is, to understand how come to be such and such thought or such and such understanding or such confusion and so on, all by conditions. Is this the purpose of the teachings of the Buddha? To share, to help the other, to understand the ultimate truth of life, just in a moment by conditions. So what was yesterday, seeing, hearing, smelling, finished or end at moment of Vanga, the citta, which is the result of the same karma as birth, is the result of that karma. So when birth consciousness is gone, it's time for current of Vanga until its moment of seeing right now. Depends on whether it's conditioned by the same karma or different karma. And Vanga again until its moment of hearing. Is this life? Is this Dhamma? Is not anyone at all? And today is seeing again, hearing again, endlessly, because there are so many karmas, uncountable karmas. Depends on whether what karma is ready to condition moment of seeing or moment of hearing. So now understand what moments are the result of karma. Moment of patisanti citta, moment of spavanga, moments of seeing, moment of hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, all are the result of karma. So what about the other moment of citta? Not the result of karma, but it's conditioned by another condition. And it can be include the what is there. It's not known until we begin to learn about cetasika, the reality which arises together with citta. Citta cannot arise alone. There must be conditions for it arises. At moment of birth, there must be citta and cetasikas conditioned by the same karma to arise together, to feel, to remember, all by one same karma. That's right. Feeling can be vipaka, kusala, or akusala, depending on that very moment. Learn to understand a little more closer and closer to each moment in life, to understand that all are dhammas, different dhammas. That's why yesterday we talked about 7 cetasrikas. Do they arise at moment of birth? Certainly. But birth moment is different from seeing. So it may be the result of same karma or not the same karma. But what is there at moment of birth and what is there at moment of seeing? see, different conditions, unknown, until we learn about the reality which arises with each citta, different ones. For example, Phassa Cetasika is there at birth, moment 2. Any moment of citta, there must be at least 7 Cetasikas, but we learn a little more about different moments, which is not moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. That's why we learn that there must be more than 7 Cetasikas at birth, right? Because different kinds of birth by different Cetasikas, which is conditioned by karma, the same karma. That's why someone has panya, right understanding, arising with birth consciousness. But at that moment, it does not perform the function of understanding what is there, because it just arises with citta at moment of birth as vipaka. So there is panya, right understanding, which is vipaka, the result of karma with right understanding, can condition moment of birth with or without right understanding. That's why I learn a little more about moment to moment to understand, a little more to let go ignorance, why people are different, why some has no right understanding from birth to death, and why some has very little right understanding, and someone like Sariputta, how much panya is there accumulated to understand what is taught by Asachi. See, there must be condition even at moment of birth by different kinds of citta, for example, with or without right understanding. And what is pavanka? Even panya is also vipaka. It does not arise to understand what is there now, because it arises with vipaka cetasika, to condition moment after hearing, understanding what is heard, little by little, or by conditions. So it's beyond anyone's dream or wishes to have panya so strong as Sariputta or anyone who, as soon as there is hearing about the truth right now, what about the citta which is there, which is pavanka, which is not seeing? So this is a little more considering with a little more wise attention to the truth of it, to condition moment of understanding. For example, we talk about the 7 Cetasikas and other Cetasika and something more. It's time to consider whether it's now at birth or after that, and so on. That's why this is life, the stream of pavanka, until there is something impinged. We don't talk about the process after death yet. We just talk about what can be known right now. So it's a stream of pavanka until something impinges on one of the 5 doorways. Like now, what is seen is that which impinges on the eye base only. What is there at the back does not impinge on the eye base, so there cannot be seeing of what is there at the back. That's why now it seems like there is seeing instantly, no idea about pavanka before or pavanka after. That's why what is there in life which can be known is the moment of pavanka, sleeping, and then wake up, and then see, hear, smell, taste, touch. These are vipaka, the result. No one can have anything at will, cannot see anything at will, cannot have the taste at will at all. All depends on condition. That's why I learn about the cause and the result. the karma, the deeds that has been done, and that which is the result of such and such moment as just result. That's why now it seems like there is seeing. Who knows the bhavanka before seeing? See, and before there can be seeing, citta arises and falls so very rapidly. Who knows before seeing and after bhavanka, there is citta which knows or experience the object which is there, impinged on any doorway. Like now it impinged on the eye base, and at moment of hearing it impinged on the ear base. Bhavanka is in between. It's not known, but by understanding a little more, moment to moment, there can be the understanding of the truth that is so subtle, much more than anyone can expect. Different moments of different cittas by condition. So now, bhavanka all the time, as long as nothing impinges on the eye base, ear base, and so on. But at moment when the sound of visible object arises, it impinges on the eye base or the ear base, because all among realities, only one reality can be seen. Imagine the truth. We are living in darkness, covered up by the moment of seeing again and again and again. But Buddha taught about each moment, what is there, one after the other, and in between the processes of different experiences right now. So at moment of what impinge on the eye base, bhavanka just disturbed by that. And 3 moments after that, there is citta, not bhavanka, because bhavanka cannot experience the object different from birth, at moment of birth at all. That's why that citta is the beginning to be moment of just know what is there, impinge, like someone is at the gate, and we know someone is there, but not seeing it. What is there as such and such person or being? That's why we talk about manasikara, cetasika. It arises with each moment of citta. And it is aramana, patipataka, manasikara. When it just experiences the object at any moment, it is aramana, patipataka, manasikara. But at moment of what is there, the citta which just arises to know what is there, manasikara attend to the object which is there. At the sense of, for example, so it is the beginning of the process to begin to see or to hear. But at moment of just manasikara to the object which is there, it does not see yet. That's why it is viti, patipataka, manasikara, to understand that it's different from manasikara, which arises with bhavanka. So from now on, there's no doubt about viti, patipataka, manasikara. So much more to learn about it, but this is the beginning to have more and more confidence of Dhamma as no one. Otherwise, what is there in life keeps on going without understanding. Just a moment. There must be a moment of bhavanka for sure, not at the moment of seeing or hearing. Even there is manasikara arises with each moment, but when it's not yet the process to experience what is there from moment to moment, while that which experiences hasn't fallen away yet. It has to be known or experienced by the other citta until it's gone. Because the rupa lasts longer than the citta, 17 moments of citta, that which the rupa falls away after it has arisen. But it's much more shorter than what appears. See, many moments after seeing process. So we just talk about that can be known and begin to understand how subtle it is. Now, is there any doubt about Vitti Patipataka Manasikara? We just talk about 5 doorways: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and touch. See, before it sees, what is there? Before the moment of hearing, what is there? Before moment of smelling, what is there? It cannot just arise at once, but it needs the one which arises to be the first Viticita, because it is moment of beginning to experience that which now seen or heard. So that is Manasikara, which does not arise together with Bhavanga, but it arises of the citta, which experiences Manasikara, the object, which impinges on one of the doorway. So it is Viti, the first Viti, citta. And Viti citta means that which is not Bhavanga. It begins to experience the object from moment to moment. So secretly, unknowingly right now, what can be known is only seeing. But the citta before seeing is there, for sure. Without that, the first Viti citta, what is seen now cannot be seen. Without that, which attend to the object through the ear door, there cannot be hearing. That's why understanding the citta before seeing and hearing, and understand the manasikara, which is there each moment, that at moment of knowing what is there impinged on the doorway, it's not the moment of bhavanga. So it is Vitti Patipadaka Manasikara. So now, what we heard yesterday is that right now, to be carefully considered a little more, to understand life is just moment of Dhamma, different by conditions, arising and falling away. So remember, Vitti Patipadaka Manasikara is Manasikara because it attends to the object any moment, but together with the reality which arise and experience what is there at it, what doorway right now. Fall away, and then seeing is there now, or hearing is there now, smelling, tasting, and touching is there. So seeing is vipaka, the result of karma. One moment is not enough. So the next moment is also vipaka, the result of the same karma, right? It does not see, because one citta experience only by one function. For example, Panchatvara Vachana Citta is the function of just know what is there when attention is there to that object. But it does not see, just know, begin to know, and then falls away. Condition the moment of seeing, not other citta at all. And this is by condition. Citta does not just stop at moment of seeing, but their condition, the seeing consciousness has fallen away, and the seeing consciousness itself has the anantara pajja for next moment to arise. So does any moment of the death consciousness of Arahata has this pajaya, anantara pajaya? It ends all pajaya. Nothing can arise after parinibbana, the end of life, in the circle of birth and death. No more life. All by conditions. That's why if we just take the word and not consider a little more, it not just understand what is there at all, but at moment of life, from birth and the moment of experience is the object, and then sleep, see, next morning, and then on and on and on, each moment. So now, it's so careful to consider a little more. Is there Pavanka now? See, but enough. Just understand the different moments by different conditions. So now we talk about the result of karma, the first moment in life, Patisanti Citta, and the next moment, Pavanka. No matter whenever it arises, it's the vipaka. But karma does not produce just only Patisanti Citta and Pavanka. Not enough for such deeds that has been done. It conditions moment of seeing. So there is now understanding what seeing is. It's just the result of one karma to arise, to see, but after Panchattavara Vachana, which is the Vitti Patipadaka Manasikara. Without that moment, there's no seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. But Panchattavara Vachana Citta, the Manasikara there, attend to any kind of object, pleasant or unpleasant object. That's why it's not the Vipaka Citta. Learn to understand a little more, to let go what is there in life. It's just what we have heard. Until now, Panchattavara is Citta and Manasikara, Vitti Patipadaka Manasikara. A little more understanding the function of Vitti Citta and Citta which is not Vitti Citta. So, what is not Vitti Citta? What moment? See, Pavanka, because Patisankat can never arise again in life, just one moment. So it's Pavanka, the result, not die yet. Karma hasn't finished yet. It has to condition the result of that deeds according to the strong or very it's weak or very short karma, because some karma takes long time to finish, but some karma just not many moments. That's why we learn a little more of what is there right now. Seeing is the vipaka, to see this and that. Whether it's the akusala vipaka, the result of akusala, or kusala vipaka, by conditions. And seeing is the result. What about the next? It experiences the same object, even it does not see. One citta performs only one function. So as soon as seeing sees, fallen away, there are conditions for the next citta to arise. And one condition is karma, not finished yet. That's why a moment of seeing is not enough to be the result of karma. That's why if just seeing just arise and fall away, no other moment of that which is the result, there can never be what is there at all, because it's just a moment of seeing, then gone. But The seeing is anantarapajya, a condition which condition the next moment after it's gone completely, natipajya and so on. More understanding of what is that heard, a little more, a little more. So karma condition the next moment, even it does not see, but it experiences the same object which is seen, even it does not see. And that must be more cetasika to condition the moment of receiving or experience the object, but it doesn't see. And that moment, that reality is vitakka cetasika. So it begins from then on after seeing. Because seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, 10 citta doesn't have vitakka, no need. Karma just condition it, and it is there by karma. But the next moment, even it's karma, but it cannot see, while seeing only sees. That's why it needs vitakka cetasika to perform its function, to be able to experience that object, even it's not seen, but it's there as object. So vitakka cetasika begins after seeing, hearing, smelling moment, on and on and on. That's why in the Tipitaka it said that it's the food of the world, because it's their experience, and then the other moment needs it, because it does not see, but it experiences the object by touching that which is seen to be experienced on and on till the end of the procession which experience the same object. So what is meant by viti citta, the citta which experience the same object in a process. In a process. That's why the process of seeing begins at the moment of an experience that which is there, impinged on the idol and sensor, but not seeing yet. Until next moment, karma condition seeing just to see pleasant object as the result of karma, or unpleasant object as the result of karma, and then gone. That is not enough for vipaka. It needs to experience the object which hasn't fallen away yet, the same object. That's why what is said as sampatichana, receiving the object which is seen instantly. Condition, consider the truth of the very subtle moment of each reality. The next moment, can it be seen again? Impossible. Just one moment in seeing. So the next moment, receiving the object which hasn't fallen away yet, to experience it, because vitakka just touch it. For sampatichana, to receive that object, to experience the same object, just receiving one function, one kicca, sampatichana kicca. That's why we can understand more function of each citta, whether how many functions and how many cittas perform such function. For sampatichana, it does not see, but it experiences the object which has fallen away yet. If the object has fallen away, can there be any moment experience that has fallen away? Impossible. So it's still there, not fallen away yet. And sampatichana is conditioned by karma to receive it, to experience it, the same object as seeing, and then gone. Is that enough for vipaka? See, that's why after But Sampatichana, the receiving consciousness is fallen away instantly. It conditioned the next moment. Santirana, look at it. Just receive, and now look at it. Another function. That's the end of vipaka in that process. Look at it. See, is there manasikara, cetasika with santirana? Is there the manasikara at moment of sampatichana? Is there manasikara at moment of sampatichana? They experience manasikara attend to the object, no matter what function is there. As vipaka, only that function. That's the end of vipaka. See, can vipaka condition more moment of experience that object? We don't know, but we learn a little more. Usually, what is there in daily life, and very different by the teachings of the Buddha, which no need to talk about it yet, because it has to be more and more understanding of what is there as the word, seeing, receiving consciousness, and santirana, see, they are different. So vipaka ends enough because it looked the object and it conditioned the next moment to arise for sure. The other kind of citta, which is not vipaka, because it's moments that arise before experience it with attachment, aversion, or wholesome reality. See, by conditions, it's so quickly arising and falling away all the time. So the next moment is not vipaka. It's time for that which is there in each citta accumulated to rush out, to ooze, to experience the object with attachment or ignorance or dosa or whatever by conditions. Nobody can do, nobody can make anything at all. It's by condition, from moment to moment, all by conditions, different conditions too. So when it's seen and look, the other moment just arise to make way for akusala or kusala, which is there in mind, ready to come out by conditions. Is that true? Can anyone change it? And Buddha taught about the 4 kinds of asava, kilesa, which is so very, very slight. There is attachment to being right now, unknown, right? What is that? Bhavasava, see, not to be remembered, to understand the moment when it's there. Bhavasava, cling instantly to that which is experienced, and it's a moment of being someone. So clinging is there, cling to Bhavasava. And Kamasava. Kama is the 5 objects that we've seen, heard, smelled, tasted, and touched. When it's the sense though, only. When it's through mind though, it's not this one. That's why now we talk about that which arises after that which is there, make way for it to arise. Because the vipaka is ended, so what else will follow? That which is ready to come out. But that citta which makes way cannot be vipaka, cannot be kusala or akusala. So it is another chati of the birth of every citta to be kiriya, not kusala nor akusala, not vipaka. That's why we learn about different manners or aspects of citta, that is different by conditions. That's why no doubt about the moment which makes way, which is not vipaka, not kusala, not akusala, so it is just kiriya citta. And it's not known what is there, but it's there. So we give name to it. Chavana, patipataka, manasikara, because this moment has to arise before kusala or akusala for the one who's not arahata, but for arahata, no more kusala and akusala. So that moment just give way for that which is used to be wholesome, to be the root, to condition result, cannot be the root of condition for the result at all, because it's not the root for the reality which goes on and on little by little to produce what is there as the result of it. That's why we learn just one word, more details, more considering. This is life. Otherwise, how can there be letting go the idea of self at all? So who's the Buddha? Before hearing, who's the Buddha? And after hearing, who's the Buddha? See, different. Because of a little more understanding, and only understanding self can understand who's the Buddha. So now, does the object which is experienced fallen away? It depends. That's why sometimes the process is long and sometimes it's shorter, because it's the citta which experiences what is there through one doorway. And we learn to understand that sense though, but we learn later about the mind though. So can lopa, attachment or dosa arise at the sense though, experience the same object of seeing? See, but it's still the sense though, or the either process. But there must be the reality which arises before jhana, which is that which experiences the object several times more than one time. That's why lopa does arise more than one moment, usually 7 moments. And it cannot arise ever. It's ready to arise without that which make way for it, because the vipaka is ended. So what else will experience the object? It has to be only that which is not vipaka, not kusala, not akusala yet. That's why we learn about the other citta, which is kiriya, not kusala, not akusala, not vipaka. And for the one who is not arahata yet, there are only 2 moments of kiriya citta. The first one is Viti Patipataka Manasikara. What is it? Forget? Oh, still remember. Because it's so real right now. It's there before seeing, before hearing. Viti Patika Manasikara. Not just the word to remember, but the understanding of its function when it's there. Can it be that woman, Chawana Patipataka Manasikara? That's why what is said can be considered carefully, a little more carefully, but without condition. even it's heard, it's not yet moment of thinking about it. No condition, not enough condition to think about it, because usually in a day we just think a lot about things and people, but not vitti patika manasikara, or the other one. What is it? See, different two kinds of reality. Even they are both vipaka, kiriyajita. So just learn about the moment of seeing. Not only seeing is there, and is it the process of seeing when there is attachment to the object? So what is Chavana Patipadaka Manasikara? Acitta, which is Kiriyajita, not Kusala, not Akusala, not Vipaka. Just now, to be remembered, but there can be a little more understanding of it, little by little. Is this enough to understand the truth of this moment? If you go on longer and longer, can it be understanding of this moment? It follows the other words instantly. No condition to understand this moment, just one word at a time. So once it's understood, it's not lost. It's there in the citta, even it falls away at that moment. But it depends on conditions to arise again, or just thinking about the other again and again in life by condition. And this is the study of Dhamma, not just the word of Dhamma, because Dhamma is there now. Okay, we use another word, Pancha 5, the Vara Vachana. What is that? It is citta, right? Performing the function of avachana, the first viti citta, through the sense door. That's why it is pancha, the vara, vachana, citta. And manasikara is there. So if we can say, when we talk about manasikara, three kinds. The manasikara which arises with that citta, which is the first viti citta, begin to experience the object which impinge on the sense door, but not seeing. So it arises before each moment of seeing or each moment of hearing.
I'd just like to mention to friends like Tiny Tam's mother, for most of us, we have to hear the details many, many times before there is any understanding. And for most of us, we're not familiar with the Pali terms. So if we listen and forget all the terms or lose a lot of the meaning, it doesn't matter at all. There can be understanding even now of confusion or doubt or misunderstanding, because they're all dhammas. So we shouldn't think that it's simple and clear for the others, but just difficult for us, because it's difficult for everyone. We're talking about different kinds of chittas, different moments of consciousness, which have different functions that arise and fall away by different conditions. It's very different from our usual way of thinking. So in brief, Ajahn is talking about, firstly, the results of karma, the chittas which are the results of karma. We call them the vipaka chittas. And the first one in life is the moment of birth. So this is the first vipaka citta. It's called patisandhi citta, the birth consciousness. But that karma produces more results, more chittas that are the result of karma, the bhavanga chittas that follow. The bhavanga chittas maintain life, so life continues on even when there's no seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, or thinking. These bhavanga chittas are the result of life and they continue on. And then Ajahn was talking about the different kinds of citta in a sense store process. Each one arises by its conditions and has its particular function. First, there has to be the adverting to the object, the visible object, for example, that has already arisen. And then, only then, there can be the seeing of it, and which is the result of karma. Two more chittas follow, which are the result of karma. One more citta, which is not the result and not kusala, not wholesome, not unwholesome, akusala, before the very subtle akusala can arise, such as lobha, completely unknown. And we learn about these details a little more deeply to understand that now this is life, different kinds of cittas, different consciousness arising and falling away. No one there at all. No one can decide life. No one can make life as they would like it. There are just these different moments of consciousness accompanied by different cetasikas, different mental factors arising and falling away, not lasting at all. So we consider a little more about these different dhammas to understand there is no self. And then gradually we can consider a little more detail, such as the detail about these three kinds of manasikara. And the main point there is that there is always a mental factor, a cetasika, attending to the object at each moment, even now. So it doesn't matter if there's lots of forgetfulness and many of the details are not clear, or if we have to ask our friends to keep reminding us what the Pali terms are 10, 20, 100 times. It doesn't matter at all, because life is at this moment, even now, even at those times of forgetfulness, there can be understanding. Doubt is real, confusion is real, seeing is real.
Sau khi con có được nghe bà giảng về tâm thì con có sự liên hệ đến một cái câu bà giảng về khi nói về cái khía cạnh là khi đối tượng không xuất hiện, không có thích và không thích thì tâm ở đấy. Thì con liên hệ rằng con thấy rằng là vậy thì từ xưa đến giờ khi mà tâm nó xuất hiện, nếu khi tâm xuất hiện thì là như bà nói là đối tượng của hiểu biết, thì nó phải là đúng với bản chất. Vậy thì khi mà từ trước đến nay thì con thấy rằng là mình toàn nói về một cái người như kiểu một người mình chưa bao giờ mình gặp, tại vì nó không có cái hiểu về để có các có hiểu biết về bản chất thực sự của tâm. Thì con muốn được nghe thêm về điều này ạ.
When I listened to your explanations about chitta, I heard sometimes you say that at the moments when the objects don't appear, and when there's no liking or disliking, the chitta is there. So talking about chitta is like talking about someone we have never met. But understanding about chitta is very important. So I would like you to explain more about chitta, please.
So be truthful to the truth. Does now chitta appear?
Theo con được học thì con hiểu rằng là nó có xuất hiện, có sinh khởi, nhưng mà nó không xuất hiện một cách rõ ràng.
It arises, but it doesn't appear.
But it's there. As much as we can understand right now, is that there must be a reality which is there, experiences the object. Or we can simply say, there is a reality which sees, right? And what is seeing is the moment, attending to the object which is there, right? Seeing attends to the object, but it's not the reality which attends, but there is attention arises at moment of seeing. That's why I learn to understand now, just moment of seeing only. Now seeing sees, right? But the chitta, the moment which arises before seeing, cannot see or does not see, but it knows what is there at such and such doorway, but it does not see or it does not hear. From a moment of nothing appear at all, and that's moment of Vanga. It's the result of karma which has to arise, but not to see yet, just to arise on and on. Not die yet, not the end of karma, which condition birth consciousness to be this person yet. But it's there. It's not dead moment. But it's there. Experience the unknown object, because it's not that which attend to that which is there at one doorway. We talk about doorway, the reality which is not the seeing, but the object which is seen. And when we talk about idol, arupa, which is conditioned by karma for that which can impinge on it, to be conditioned for seeing, to see. The result of karma is moment of seeing. That's why the karma condition that special rupa, which only the visible object can impinge on it, to be moment of that which is seen now, but not seen yet, impinge on it, to be object of seeing, right? That's why from moment when the object does not appear, because it's not seen, heard, and so on, it's moment of sleeping, deep sleep. Who are you? Is that you? Is that your friend? Is that your house? Nothing appear at all. No one can make it appear. to be the reality which arises and experiences, because the object is not known. So how can there be the understanding of a reality which experiences that object? Because the object is not known, not the visible object, not sound or taste at all. So understand that moment. It's a moment of a reality which arises to experience the object, but not through any doorway at all, but it's there from birth. In order to understand it even right now, the citta, the reality which is now, is not known. It can be thought about, consider it, manasikara, attend to the reality which now sees, but why it is not known? Because what appears in only that is only that which is seen only. But there must be a reality which sees it. Otherwise, without seeing, it cannot appear at all. So that which appears now is not that which experiences it at all. Because that which is seen cannot experience anything at all. But there is a reality, experiences visible object, and we use the word seeing. But when there's no understanding of the truth of seeing, that it's only a reality which arises to see, which means experiences visible object, which is now appearing. So the object which is now appearing can be known by different cittas that we have talked about just a moment ago. The first moment experience it is that which attend to the object, and it experiences that, but it doesn't see that yet. The first moment of each process must be that which is the doorway for that next citta to experience it. By its nature, it's not the result of karma, because what is the result of karma has to be pleasant, conditioned by kusala karma, unpleasant, conditioned by akusala karma. But that citta can experience no matter the object is pleasant or unpleasant. So it is not vipaka, it's not kusala vipaka or akusala vipaka. When it's not kusala vipaka, not akusala vipaka, it's not vipaka, it's a reality which is kiriya, just conditioned to see and then gone. That's why ordinary, there are two kinds of that which makes way for the at the moment citta to experience the same object by seeing a moment only. And after that, citta which follows it does not see at all. Only the moment of seeing is vipaka. But the karma doesn't end yet. Just a moment of seeing is not enough. It conditioned at the moment arises to receive, to experience the same object. But nothing can see, only one moment of seeing that sees. See, is that true? But it's not known. The other moments, which is another citta at all, what is known of is now seeing and no seeing, thinking and no thinking, hearing and no thinking. What are there in life that is not known? It's only a moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, right? Kusala or akusala, little by little, from moment to moment. So just talk about one moment, seeing. Is it kusala?
Dạ không.
Is it Vipaka?
Dạ, Vipaka.
Right. Is it Bhavanga?
Không.
That's the understanding of this moment. No one there at all. So what is the question about? Why the reality which experience the object is not known?
I think the comment you heard before that you asked about when Ajahn said when objects don't appear, there's no liking, no disliking, but citta is there. I think that she was referring to the Bhavanga cittas before there is the idol process or sense door process. So we've heard that the Panchadwara Vajjana citta is the first citta in the idol process. It adverts to the object that has already impinged on the sense space. But what we don't realize is before that there were other cittas, but nothing appears because they're the cittas that experience the object that isn't experienced through any doorway. So the object can never be known. So like we learnt after the birth consciousness, there are many Bhavanga cittas, but no experience through any doorway. And it's the same now in between the sense and mind or processes. There are these cittas, the Bhavanga cittas, that experience an unknown object, but nothing is known about the Bhavanga cittas, and impossible to know what the object is because it cannot appear, doesn't appear ever. But there can be the beginning of considering wisely how there has to be cittas arising and falling away all the time. So before seeing and the citta before it must be cittas arising and falling away, continuing life, always cittas there. In deep sleep, there must be cittas arising and falling away when there are no dreams. So these are the same Bhavanga cittas, but the object doesn't appear. So sometimes when we use doesn't appear, it's referring to there not being understanding, like now visible object is seen, but we may say it doesn't appear, it means it's not understood, it's not known. But in this context, doesn't appear means cannot appear because it's not experienced through a doorway. If does that make sense? Was that the point, I think?
Just to clarify, for us, there is always something appearing. So Ajahn was not talking about a time when for us there is no object, but just that the object of the Bhavanga citta cannot be known. And your question was about citta. There is consciousness all the time, right? There is always some experiencing. There is always experiencing of one kind or another. For example, now, there is hearing and there is thinking about what has been heard. There is thinking about the meaning of what the speaker is saying. That is a kind of experiencing. There must be seeing because there is the idea of a room of people and things. And that is also a kind of experiencing. It's thinking about the visible object that has been experienced and the idea of people and things. So citta is just another word, a term for the moment of experiencing. Whether that experiencing is just experiencing the sound, or it's the experiencing which is thinking about the sound that has been heard and is understanding the words being spoken and is thinking about the meaning of those words. This is all experiencing, and any kind of experiencing indicates or means that citta is there, because citta is a term for the momentary reality which experiences.
Là cái nhà thì tâm dịch dụng trong cái ý là khi mà nói về cái tâm mà nó xuất hiện ấy, thì có nghĩa là nó chỉ là đối tượng của trí tuệ.
So did you say that when we say that the citta only appears to panya, so it can only be the object of panya?
Often this is what we say. We say it only appears when there is panya, when it is understanding. But sometimes we say, for example, the object of the bhavanga citta doesn't appear. In that case, it means it's not experienced through a sense door or mind door process. In other words, it's not the object of any of the cittas in a sense or a mind or process, so it cannot be known. So sometimes it's just referring to how now there is seeing, but does it appear? It means, is there any understanding of seeing? And sometimes it's referring to how it cannot be known, it cannot appear.
And just now, we know that there is experiencing, but that doesn't mean that the citta that experiences, the reality that experiences, is known as it is. Because there may be no distinguishing between the experiencing and the object that is experienced. We don't know, for example, hearing consciousness as opposed to sound. And we don't know the thinking as separate from the object, the thought, the concept of people and things. All we know is that there must be experiencing. And so we can say that at those moments, the reality of experiencing does not appear to be known. We are just drawing on our ordinary knowledge or experience to know that there is a kind of experiencing. But in order for the particular experiencing to be known as it is, it has to appear to panya. It has to be known by panya.
Yesterday I was stressing about passa cetasika. In order for seeing to see what is visible, passa has to contact that particular object. So passa is nutriment for seeing. It has to condition the seeing by contacting the visible object that has impinged on the eye sense, otherwise no seeing can arise. So we can consider this and understand intellectually, but the question was, does passa appear? Does the reality appear? Usually if someone says, does anger appear, people say yes, even though it's usually misunderstood as my anger, but it seems to be apparent. Does hardness appear? Yes, the reality is more obvious. Phassa, does it appear? No, it doesn't appear. So it's not the object of understanding commonly at all. So this is the usual meaning, but the objects of the Bhavanga Citas never can appear.
Thank you so much, Acharya John and Sarah. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So